If you like making green juice and want more recipes, feel free to subscribe to my channel, Food for Yummies. Hello! So my name is Janine and today I'm going to show you how I make my favorite green juice. It's this no-fuss version of green juice. The main thing that you need obviously is a juicer. If you don't have one of these, it's going to be pretty difficult. But the first thing I always do is I put the bag in the juicer. So if you have like those brown things that they have around the city, basically this is like the little compost part, you know, all the leftover pulp that's in there. You can put there right in the bag and it makes it really easy for cleanup. So the 5 ingredients that you need. First one is going to be cucumber. I like to use the regular old-fashioned cucumber. The bigger the cucumber, the more the juice. But this one is good because it's not all weird tasting like the English ones. I like those in salad, but in juice, you want the juiciest of all cucumbers. So you use the traditional cucumbers. The second ingredient is ginger. So ginger is a great ingredient because it lasts for a long time. So this one I've had out. You can keep it out. You can keep it in the fridge. This piece of ginger will probably last me about 3 or 4 different times that I make juice. The next thing that you need is celery. I really like to use celery in my green juice because it gives it that bright green color. Like, you know, like when you see green juice on TV or at a resort, I always like, it reminds me of being back at a resort. That bright green color comes from the celery. And then finally you need something citrusy. For today I'm going to be using an orange. Sometimes I use a navel orange, sometimes I use a juicing orange, sometimes I use a lemon. But the orange definitely provides that hint of sweetness and then obviously also the dose of vitamin C. And then finally, depending on your taste buds, you might need a little bit of sweetness. So I like to use honey. I'm going to give a tip later of how I use honey specifically in the green juice that I make. Another alternate thing that you can do is also use something spicy. So if you're a person who likes spicy, you can add like a little hint of pepper, cayenne pepper to the end of your green juice. But for now we're going to get started on peeling the orange and prepping the juice for the juicer. Alright, so here you can see I have everything already set up. I'm going to start with the fruits that don't really produce a lot of water on the cutting board, because then when I get to the messy fruit, it'll be easier. So I like to cut this into like these spears. Why? Because sometimes it can be hard to force down the ginger, especially. So when I cut these into spears, it makes it a lot easier for it to go into the juicer. It doesn't really give me too many problems, you know. I told you I like to use 2 celery stalks. This one gives me enough green, enough of that mean green, and also adds that bright flavor. So I like to use celery. And then I like to use a lot of ginger. Ginger is really great when you're sick, when you're not sick. It adds that little bit of a spice. So I said if you're a person who likes a lot of spice, then you might want to add cayenne pepper. But if you're a person who doesn't, you might want to add some ginger. It's like a little gentler. I like to get the skin off of the ginger before I put it in there. Some people put it in there with it already on. I like to get the skin off. And so you just use a spoon. Any teaspoon will work. And this helps to get the skin off without getting too much. So you see that first time I got too much. When I use the spoon, it's just a little bit. So I scrape that down. And the reason that I like making green juice is basically, like I said earlier, it reminds me of like a peaceful resort, like people bringing you drinks, treating you like a queen that you are, or the king that you are, depending on what you are, right? But I like it because of that. It's a great way to get your veggies in and your fruits. And it's a great way if you are a single person or you live in a household where things rot pretty quickly, for them not to. So in a regular week, I could never eat this much celery, but because I juice, I feel like I use my celery almost every week as much as the whole entire stalk. Because it's the biggest ripoff in the world. They sell you this thing and it's like $2, and they know it's gonna rot. So when you're making juice, you never have to worry about that. So I peel off all the orange skin so that we don't get any of that bitterness in there. Like I said, you can use any citrus fruit. I like to use oranges because they are in season right now, so they're kind of cheap in the store. Right now it's, you know, we are during quarantine time. So you kind of want to get the best bang for your buck. You don't have to be crazy about how much you split it up. But I like to cut everything pretty much into 4s so that I know how much goes in there. All right? I use a Pyrex dish for this part just because it's easier and I get to pour it out easier, and I can also measure how much is in here. So if you're weighing things, measuring things, you're on anything like Weight Watchers, those kind of points things, you can see exactly how much you make. And the secret that I'm going to be using with the honey is I pour it directly in my cup, right? About a teaspoon, aka 1 to 2 points. I mix a little bit of water, and I'm going to put this in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And so here's the honey and the water mixed together. You can kind of see how it's nice and liquidy like that. That way, when you add honey, if you're like me and you prefer sugar to honey, and you're like, because honey never melts. So this actually lets your honey melt to a liquid state so that when you put it in your drink, you can taste it. It's awesome. Microwave your honey first before you put it. All right, and now that we have everything laid out, it's time to turn on the juicer. So this part is going to be a little bit loud, so I'll time lapse you on through that. But again, we have 1 orange, a cucumber, 2 stalks of celery, this much ginger because I can't measure. And that is the last of the juice. So there we go. You can see how much we have here. I lost my little stopper, so it kind of leaks out at the end. But it's just about a cup of juice, and that's the perfect amount for what I'm looking at and looking for. All right, so there you have it. I have my juice all in the cup here. So this is, you see again, this is that bright green color. I like that bright green color in my green juice, and when you have any kind of green juice that's absent of celery or any of the other dark leafy green vegetables, this is the kind of color that you'll get. And it's nice and bright, it feels fresh, it's very spring. Then I have my hot honey over here. It's hot for now, but it won't be hot for long. I pour it in here, so I know for sure it's all mixed in, right? I add the ice to my cup. Nice fresh ice, old-fashioned ice from the freezer. And I pour it all in so that I can enjoy. And that, my friends, is how you make the perfect green juice. So that's my green juice recipe. Again, I'm Janine. Thank you so much for watching. If you watch to the end, you can leave a comment down below on other things that you'd like to see me make, cook, juice. All right, so I have a lot of different juice recipes. If you'd like to see more of that, let me know. It's absolutely the best way to get in your fruits and vegetables, especially if you don't feel like eating a ton of them every day. You would not normally eat 2 stalks of celery. You would not normally sit here and eat a whole cucumber, but drinking it, you do get a lot of those benefits. If that's something that you're looking for and something that you're looking to use, it makes you feel nice and fresh inside. And again, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Food for Yummies. Thank you.